Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and today I want to have, a serious conversation and try to be objective about this. It's one of these topics that it seems like people want to argue about it and people get emotionally attached to it instead of just stepping back and looking at it rationally and objectively. And that's the topic of is TRT natural, bro? And look, when I say that, I'm talking about actual TRT, not, hey, wink, wink, I'm on TRT, bro, right? Which we could also call YouTube TRT, Instagram TRT. In other words, people who are just using gear and then using that as their cover to claim that they're just doing something legal, okay? Because that implies they're getting it from a doctor. Well, that may not actually be real TRT. It might be many times more than TRT. It might have other stuff in the mix. And that's not what I'm talking about here. And we do have to define that difference. Okay, what I'm defining as TRT means what the actual term is, which is testosterone replacement therapy, right? And if that is what you are doing, exactly what the medical term is, which is testosterone replacement therapy, okay, see where we're going with that? Means that you're in the normal range. All right, so let's get that out of the way. It doesn't mean that you have a 1500 nanogram per deciliter testosterone. It means you might have a 500, all right? So let's define that up front for purposes of this conversation, because obviously I'm on YouTube TRT, wink wink bro, is not natty, okay, right? I don't think there's any debate about that one. So we're talking about actual replacement therapy that keeps you in the normal range. In other words, if you didn't need it and didn't have low testosterone already, you would get no benefit, okay? Because it would just suppress your natural production. So we define that. And then we come over and then instead of saying what's natural, because natural doesn't mean natural. That's not what the word means, because nothing we do is natural. That's why I joke with a little bit, lifting natural weights. There's nothing natural about weightlifting. So when people use that term, they don't mean it's the way something is found in nature, right? Because it's not natural to eat 300 grams of protein a day. It's not natural to follow a structured weight training program. What they mean is you're not on a bunch of steroids, bro. Okay? That's what the term means. It means you're not blasting anabolic drugs. Okay? So it's the term that people are choosing to use. And you can make it the term whatever you will. So instead of using that term of is it well, because then nobody's natural. You live in an air-conditioned house. You eat agriculturally grown, selectively bred foods, okay. What they mean is, are you using a bunch of gear, dude? Are you on a bunch of tren? Is your testosterone levels above normal because you're using a bunch of testosterone? Okay, that's what they mean. So for all purposes, I'm going to make the case that from that definition, TRT can be considered natural. And again, I don't mean the literal word natural. I mean the word that people are using for lifting purposes. And here's why. Because it doesn't give you an advantage over a young, healthy person. Okay, and we need to be clear on that. And people seem to lose sight of that. That if someone has a low testosterone and they're on a replacement dose, okay, and they're given a replacement dose by a doctor, or even if they self-administer, they're given a replacement amount, they are not going to gain muscle faster than the healthy person who has a healthy testosterone level with no medical issues. Okay, they're not going to have an advantage over them. And people need to understand that point. Do they have an advantage over their poor health self? Of course they do. Of course they have an advantage over that. But so does the person who's healthy. The person who doesn't have the suppressed levels has an advantage over them also. You see where we're going there? It's by that. I'll give you guys another good example. Let's say you need any medication for health purposes because you're unhealthy. Does that medication give you an advantage over someone who doesn't have the same health issues? Usually not. It gives you an advantage over someone who has the health issue, which would be yourself, of course. I mean, it's the same thing if you're dealing with, say, a diabetic. Do they have an advantage over the non-diabetic if they take their medications? No, probably not. Not if they take them at the therapeutic amount. Now, if they start taking some of them, if they take them at levels that are very, very high outside the normal range, okay, there can be some differences. But if it's normalizing things, they don't have an advantage over someone without the medical problem. So someone who is actually on actual legitimate TRT does not have the advantage over a healthy 25-year-old who has a normal production. They don't have an advantage over them. They're not going to gain muscle faster than them. They're not going to lose fat faster than them. Okay? We need to be clear on that. And when you're dealing with older individuals, that actually isn't enough to put them fully at the full advantage of what the younger person has. Okay? Because testosterone is not the only thing. I'll even say even growth hormone won't fully bridge that gap. Now, that'll do a lot. Now, if a person has both replaced to those same levels, if now their testosterone, their HGH or IGF-1, all of that stuff is functioning at the same level as the healthy 25-year-old, now they're real close. There's still a little wear and tear from aging, and we need to be clear there. It's still not a direct one-to-one comparison, but it's pretty close, because there's still going to be some age-related issues. Things are still going to be a little harder. Certain things are going to recover slower. Okay, and that has to be understood. But we need to be clear on this. Someone who is on therapeutic amounts of any of this stuff, to put them equal to what a healthy 25-year-old has, does not have an advantage over them. They will not gain muscle faster, lose fat faster, any of those things over that person. So for our purposes of this, for this definition, I think it's reasonable to say, yeah, they're natty, bro. Because they don't have an advantage. They have an advantage over a sick person. And I mean, if that's our standard of an advantage, then wow. All you guys out there who are training better hope you never get sick or get older. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys next time.